Hello, everybody. Welcome to Challenge Accepted. I'm Alex Florez, aka Kamisazi. And you're here with me for the next 4 hours. Well, it's a Friday. I think we're doing a group stream, actually. So maybe only 3 hours. We'll see. I need to figure that out while we're live somehow. How's it going, Tom Voxel? How's it going, Last Year Trier? Welcome back. Alright. Just adjusting my levels here a little bit. Alrighty. So, we got a few minor issues to fix in what we've built here. And then I think we can move on to the next game. I think that's the plan. So, last time... Hey, Jonah. How's it going? Last time we had an issue with this potion because it spawns from a single-player spawner. And we don't really have a way to do it otherwise. This potion would start teleporting us and then snap us right back to where we were, which is real annoying. So we've kind of just hidden it. It's there the whole time. If you know it's there, you could technically take the teleport right away, but then you skip all the quests. And you want to do the quests, because maybe the quests are a little bit fun. So this teleporter... You know, I was thinking of other ways that we could possibly solve this. So maybe we'll revisit the teleporter idea. But then the other issue we had is that we get to Boombot here, and for some reason the Asker doesn't start the crowd event. So we're just gonna skip the Asker entirely. We're just gonna give Boombot a speaker component. Let's see, he doesn't say anything yet. Our crowd events start. We're gonna get rid of this interact. We're just not even gonna this Asker. We're just not even gonna do it. I just realized I'm a little snowy. What's going on? Probably just move me over a little bit. Maybe I have to see it. Situation changed a little bit. A little bit better. Alright, so we'll get rid of this Asker. I think we'll just make it a speaker. We really just only need this for collision. So we'll get rid of this. We're gonna rename it. And then... Oh, actually... no, we need that. Undo! Undo! Because Boombot's all single player. Okay. So, we will use the crowd event start. But we're gonna get rid of the Asker. We're gonna make it a speaker component. Hey, Mosquito. Welcome back. What does it say? Cult of Shelton. I don't know what that means. So get rid of the asker. And try to add a speaker component. And we'll make a message broadcast or something. We'll use that for the actual interaction. So we're gonna use dance. And whoop. This is all. Wait before broadcast. Interact. Sandbox says, "Hey Alex, have you seen the news about the Catalyst claim for Builders Challenge 1 participants?" I have not seen the news. I'm getting a late start today. I was up late working on some testing, and then I went to bed, and then I woke up and immediately jumped into a meeting, and then from the meeting jumped into here. I inhaled a peanut butter sandwich in between then. That was all I had for breakfast. So this is my first bit of caffeine this morning, and I'm just getting started. We're waking up live. Experience stats not showing from August 8th. So August 8th, depending on what time of day. August 8th was still less than 24 hours ago. I know that oftentimes takes 24 hours to update. And there can be other hiccups in the system that might make that take a little bit longer. So I don't know. I would say I would check my experiences, except I don't do a lot of, besides doing this stream and hanging out with all of you, I don't really do anything to promote my experiences right now, just because we're doing it as like a learning process, an experiment. And so I don't really get consistent visitors to my experience because I'm not really putting in the work to make that happen. But we can see if I had anybody in my analytics here from yesterday. They normally post after 9 a.m. Eastern time. Well, we'll let that load off to the side. For the whole day? Or is it, you know, kind of the process? Does it track across? Yeah, okay, so I don't have anything August 8th there either. You can see that August 6th, was that, did we do a mage raid? Tuesday. Oh. Well, somebody visited all on their own on Tuesday. Let's see. How about this one? Hard to hear me over the music. Okay, we'll drop it down a little bit. How about that? Is that better? Oh, I'm changing the wrong dial. That's why. So on my mixer, I have different channels with knobs to adjust their volume. And I have one that is called music, but it's not the music that we're listening to. That's just like iTunes. Because this audio is playing through OBS, it actually comes through my system channel. And so I had turned up music so that way I could hear it. But it's not as loud for you guys, except it didn't turn up the volume. So I adjusted the volume in OBS, which is why it was too loud for you. But I've now flipped that around, and we're better now. It's always a process. And you know what? You might get a buzzing noise for a second here. Yesterday was nice and cold. I actually had to put on a sweatshirt outside because it was chilly. and now it's hot again. I think we have like a tropical storm coming through. So it's just, like I walked outside this morning with a sweatshirt on and went, ugh, it's hot and humid outside. Don't know what happened. So my AC is running, but it's being really noisy right now. So bear with me a second. I don't think you'll be able to hear this. All right. I just took an audio snapshot. It analyzes the white noise, the ambient noise. It makes it a little quieter. So also I didn't get anything. August 6th. What was Tuesday? Oh, Tuesday was the challenge accepted. It was the other show for this. We had visitors on Tuesday because we were testing the experience. And you can see people connected and reconnected a bunch of times as we were testing. So that's where that bump came from. And then nobody cared afterwards. That's okay. This is all about learning. This is not a show on. I mean, I'll make if you want, I'll make suggestions on ways to get more people playing your experience, but that's not really my focus in this stream, and that's not what I'm trying to do at this moment. I'm just trying to build some stuff. Let's see. Oh. Let's ban you. And the evil is gone. Alright, so what were we doing here? We're sending dance, we were interacting. We can do it over and over again if we want. Text to display is gonna be, are you ready? We're just gonna go all caps. Are you ready to dance? So we'll make it go like right next to the spawner, but not right on it. So you like take a step forwards and then he says it. And no message sent. We won't use a display name. And we really just want the interaction to display there. And then I think we're going to need to rename this thing to Boombot. Yeah. Oops. Oh, I think I forgot to charge my mouse. Well, we'll see if it lasts. Alright, let's see what this looks like. I made that too low. And then we do our dance party. We need to do dances. And it's a cherry fit, which is this one. Probably make that dance a little bit longer in case people have a hard time finding the cherry fit. Yeah. How's it going? First time chatter on Twitch. Doing alright. So what do I do? Well, primarily I'm an artist in the Sandbox, and we are building a game. Because even as an artist, I'm able to figure this stuff out. Alright, so we've got that going on. I think we're going to make the crowd event a little bit longer. Give people more time to find the dance move they need. So we still got the 10 points a goal. What do you mean by artist? I make voxel models. I make 3D models for Sandbox. That's not necessarily what I do every day in the Sandbox. I've been with the Sandbox almost 6 years now. Not full time. I started as a freelance artist, but been here a while, and I do a lot of other things besides making artwork. Let's see. Here it is. Duration. So let's give it a full minute. 60 seconds. And let's see. Boombot indicator. I wanted to raise that up because actually I don't think we can we raise it? The speech bubble. I'm trying to remember if we can raise that or not. Yeah, I'm always on top. That's fine. I don't think that's going to actually move it. We might just need to put a different asset there. Which is okay. You know, these are invisible assets. We can add multiple of them if we need to. Yeah, it's too low. So let's see what happens if we just raise it up. We want to make sure that we can still interact with it correctly. Actually, yeah, you know, we're gonna just duplicate this. And we'll make one the speaker here. So it appears above his head correctly, the way it should. No message. No indicator. That one's going to be the Boombot speaker. This one, we're going to take the speaker off. And then start. Rename that. See how that looks. Alright, it can still go up a little bit, but we're able to start our dance party. That all looks okay. Actually, might want to raise that indicator. Let's go 1 meter up. One more try. Well, I was thinking about it. There we go. Too far. All right. That looks much better. And then we can do our dance. Ideally, we'd be dancing with other people. And then we all get shiny little trails. We can teleport back. Ta-da! Alright. I think that is good. Now, I wanted to see if we could make the potion work better. Let's go ahead and save. While that's saving, Kachingaverse, I think you're pretty new to the chat here. Maybe you haven't seen the stuff that I've worked on before. What's some examples I can show you? Here we go. So I showed this, I think, on the last stream. This was something that I had made as a reward for landowners in the sandbox. They could claim this. Not the video, but the actual asset. They can put it in their game as a piece of art. What's some other stuff I made? Made the obelisk of sand. We actually made a series of these obelisks. There's 4 of them, so people can put them at 4 corners of their land or whatever they wanted to do with them. Let's see. Some other stuff. This is a really old one. I made this like 4 or 5 years ago. Here's another landowner award. The creation of Max. So I didn't make the original designs for the Metaverse Guide, aka Sand God or Maximilian, but I took their models and I made them bigger, so they're actually, I think, either 2 or 3 times their normal size. Made some extra details for them. Sorry about that. And that was a fun one. What else we got? Some more obelisks. Oh yeah. This one was just a project for fun. I did here's the right one. I made a SMG along with a whole firing, reloading process. It looks pretty good in first person when you hold the item. Has a nice satisfying bolt slide back into place. I was really happy with that one. Yeah. The bling effect is nice, yeah. I would like to make an FPS. So I made, even before we had projectiles in the sandbox, I did make a working FPS. If you look at our Twitch, what's it? Highlights, I think it's on here. Ooh, oh hey, it's us. Right there. We're live. If you take a look at videos, featured clips, here it is. We actually made a functioning one. It was a good bit of work. It was a little overcomplicated. And it auto fires, so we didn't have the option to like actually click to do the attack. But I made it so that way if an enemy player passed over the middle of your screen, it would auto shoot, which actually worked pretty well. And you can see me running around here playing against Metasaurus Rex, and you could also shoot at the crates in the background. Um, so you know, it's a little wild. Making that Pepe wanted me to make a game for him. Do it. Yeah, isn't there a there did the meme coin game jam end already? Was that the one that everybody? No, it was the city jam that the DAO was voting on, right? When's the meme coin game jam happening? I don't even remember. I feel like we looked at the announcement, but it didn't have dates on it. Let me see. I think I had some info on that. So the VoxEdit wearable contest is over. That's in the voting period right now. I actually need to do that this weekend. Is vote on the artworks that everybody submitted for that. But there was a meme game jam, which I think voting is supposed to start on it soon. So maybe it's already done. Unless I got the dates mixed up. So maybe the game jam already happened? I'm not sure. I don't remember seeing that much about it. It might have gotten moved to a different date. There's a lot of stuff going on. It's hard to keep track sometimes. But other stuff I've done, I did this bubble blower. This was for Care Bears. Care Bears was one of the first companies I pitched to when I started working for the Sandbox. I did pitches for Care Bears, Smurfs, and a bunch of other ones. But Care Bears and Smurfs are like close to my heart. Oh, Ubisoft for Raving Rabbids. The Raving Rabbids that you see are not the way that I designed them. I designed them with just because they're like fully animated in the Sandbox now, with their mouths move and all that stuff. The ones that I made were a lot simpler because when you do a pitch, you don't have to go full detail all the way to what the final product is going to be. So mine were just static. They were in a constant wah scream look. Ubisoft was probably the longest period from when I did the pitch to when it actually got announced. So I was sitting on that forever. Like, I think at least 2 years. Like the head on a piece of ETH? What? I mean, like Max here, his face doesn't move. So the rabbits were static. But they were done using the template for children, the small child template, and I don't think I can go back and show the pitch artwork because it's not the final approved version. Although I wish I could go back and show that. It'd be cool. But yeah, it was a static face with the screaming mouth, and they had done an NFT collection of various like animal costumes, like a rabbit and like a lion costume, stuff like that. So that's kind of that's what the artwork I made. Oh, the rabbit's helmet. Maybe? I don't remember what that looks like. Let's see. Well, that doesn't show up there. Let's see. Do you remember if it was on Ethereum or Polygon? Okay, I think you mean these. So I guess kind of like that, but not with any of the angles. Right, I was using the template, and so it was just the blocks, just the hard edges. So it was like that. But yeah, so I pitched to Care Bear, Smurfs, and Ubisoft for Rabbids, And Care Bears and Smurfs were two of the earliest partners that we announced. So it was really cool to see those come to life so fast. And so I got to do this bubble blower, which is fun. Had a lot of fun making these bubbles float up. And if you look at the oldest parts of the collection, that's the stuff that I worked on. So if we go to Smurf, so like Detective Smurf here, I did the original sets of these. I did this one is always fun. This is one of my favorite assets that I ever did, I think. Took so long to like get that all to work right. It was very satisfying when it finally paid off. I didn't do the alchemy table or the book stand, all this stuff. That was done by one of the studios that worked for the Sandbox as part of the official content. I did the bush. The bush is very simple. Oh, there it goes. And then the Care Bears. I did the original set of Care Bears, including the Ancient Elder Bear. Another one of my favorites. Spent your life cynical about making a living as an artist. Yeah, so it's tough being an artist, right? I became a graphic designer because I thought I couldn't make a living as an artist. And I think I learned important things doing graphic design. You know, I went to school for illustration mostly. You know, I learned painting and printmaking and ceramics and some sculpture and stuff. You know, it was general arts, but my focus and photography. My focus was on drawing and painting. And I also took courses in graphic design because I figured, who's gonna pay for a painting for me? I'll do graphic design because there's jobs in graphic design. But then by the time I graduated with my graphic design degree, everybody had graphic design jobs and there was nobody hiring for graphic design. And that was right after. So I graduated high school in 2007. Then we had the 2008 economic issues. I graduated college 2011. I'm like, there's not a lot of jobs in graphic design. So I worked some kind of crummy dead-end jobs at print shops. School is scam. I feel like we had this conversation before. I don't remember if it was with you, Kachigavers. You know, I don't think school is a scam. I think school you can learn some very important things, but I think there are things that you learn in school which are not necessarily part of the curriculum, which are oftentimes the more important things that you learn. So for me, going to school taught me that I could sit for 8 hours and make a piece of artwork when I had before only sat for maybe an hour or two. When I was in, a lot of the drawing that I did in elementary school, middle school, high school was sketching. I learned how to do some like photorealistic pencil shading, and I did a lot of comicking, you know, doing penciling, inking, coloring comics. I never really liked the coloring part of the comics. I felt like I always ruined my inks. Though digital coloring was kind of the way to go for me. But going to school is where I learned how much time I could focus on a project and really get a lot done, and how much more impressive my artwork could be when I had spent 3 straight weeks, 2 classes a week, 8 hours a class, because I would just stay after my class ended and keep working on one drawing. Yeah, not a single person has asked to see my degree. They just want to see my art. Yeah. So if you having a portfolio is way more important than having a degree, I think, when it comes to art. specifically. Degrees can be important depending on the job you want to get into. When it comes to art, a portfolio is more important. But if you go to an art school and get an art degree, they're going to help you build your portfolio, or at least they should. I had 2 portfolio classes where all it was focused on was building a portfolio. So that way you could either get into a more advanced degree program at another school, or you could get a job. And when it comes to just straight artwork, I preferred fine art stuff. I would rather be in a gallery or some sort of collection to try to sell artwork, because I think that's more where the money is. It's less stable than a job, but it's arguably a lot. If you can get it, if you have the right connections and you get lucky, it can be a much more fulfilling way to make your art, I think. But I love this. I had done graphic design, print design for several years, and then I decided to freelance for graphic design. And as I was freelancing for graphic design, I fell in love with voxel art, and it became the main thing that I wanted to do. And then the Sandbox, the stars aligned with that. And I've always wanted to work in game development ever since I was a little kid. When I was probably 7 or 8, I had a program on the computer, just a demo of a program that showed me how to build games, and that forever changed the way that I look at games. And then I was very focused on the indie boom in the mid 2000s. So I watched eagerly. Spelunky was wow, you can make a real professional game with Game Maker, with what's now called Yo-Yo Games Game Maker. Spelunky was like an awakening. It went from oh, you can make hobby games and stuff, but they're not real games. You can play with Game Maker and RPG Maker and stuff, and just make fun stuff to share with your friends. And then Spelunky came out, and I was like, you can make real professional games just as a person. And that carried me through high school, and then through college. I kind of forgot about all of it until I started working at the Sandbox, and I was like, I right before I started working at the Sandbox, and right before I started freelancing after working my print shop job, I had started playing around with RPG Maker again, and I had started making some projects, and then I really, the Sandbox really, I can't leave game industry now. This is where I am. But yeah, definitely, if you're interested in making fine art, pursue it. It's you'd be surprised what resonates with people. I've sold a couple big paintings. I had somebody stole one of my paintings because I guess he thought he could, and then eventually I got sent a check. It was wild. It was hanging in a show with other artists from my. I was in a collective at a gallery, and we hung up our artwork at a Red Cross blood donation building where people could look at the artwork while they were donating blood. And some director or something of the place was just like, oh, I like this piece, and took it. And I was like, what? I made that. There was a price tag on it. And eventually I got sent a check, and I was like, okay, all right, here we go. NFTs is it's not like NFTs is not a magic solution to make artists make money. I have made more money on my artwork from NFTs than I ever have from trying to sell in a gallery or anything like that. And funny enough, it's been for game assets. It's for the stuff that we're building here. I mean, I've always been blown away by what people pleasantly surprised that people want to buy the things that I'm making in the Sandbox. That is not necessarily fine art. It's for building games. And I think that NFTs add a lot of features that are beneficial to artists, and I think that artists should use them. But you still have to put in the same work that you would do if you were trying to do a gallery show. You still need to network with other artists. You need to get your artwork shown in collections, whether that's in real life or virtually. You still need to promote yourself, and you still need to be constantly creating and evolving your work and getting better at what you do and showing the world what you can do. That is all necessary, and that's actually one of the reasons I'm building these spaces, is because I've collected a lot of artwork and I want to show off that collection. And maybe the artwork that I collect, I don't collect for selling. I collect because I like having it. So I'm not trying to sell the items that I'm showing in my galleries, but I want to show people that they can use the sandbox to show their artwork or show artwork that they've collected. And I think that's a great way to build a network of artists and art collectors and to show what's out there. Tutor in minting. I'm not an expert when it comes to minting outside of the sandbox. I've really only minted a couple things, and it was very easy to do through OpenSea, and I minted something through what's it called? Gosh, I just forgot the name of the platform. One second. Created. What's the name of this system? Manifold. So I've minted some stuff on OpenSea. I've minted some stuff on Manifold. As far as minting stuff in the sandbox, wanted to mint some Pepe gear if people would buy it, but I know nothing. Jon Snow. I don't like from Game of Thrones. I'm not sure what Jon Snow has to do with it. But go to docs.google, or sorry, docs.sandbox.game. I don't know why I said Google. And all the information about minting should be on there. So if we go to here, let's see, creator portal, maybe creative guides. No, oh, that's Game Maker. We want to go to mint and list and sell items. So it's got information about the catalysts, minting, royalties, the minting process, and everything that you need on here. I did videos on YouTube way back when about minting. They are pretty out of date because it was all on Ethereum layer 1. I don't even know if those videos are still up now. If they are, I should probably hide them. Because the information there is pretty outdated. I mean, the fundamentals haven't really changed that much. But as far as the specifics of like mint quantities and what you can do with catalysts, there's no gems anymore. Panda probably has videos about minting too. Panda's better about video creation than I am. I get I focus maybe a little too much on script. I write the script, I revise the script, I read the script out loud, and then I make more revisions, and it's just a whole process. And recently I haven't had a lot of time to do that sort of stuff. So when it comes to making videos, I've been not making too many of them. I do the game jam videos, but with tutorials, I think it's been a couple years since I've really made a tutorial video, besides impromptu recordings just for specific people. Right. Let's see, what other ways could we get this potion to work? So we've got our Smurf Berry Potion. So we could tell it to kill the player and respawn them to a checkpoint. I kind of feel like that makes it more complicated, and I'm not sure if it'll even work. So we could do a message broadcaster. Yeah, see, the problem is we'd have to make it all single player logic because it's spawning. Well, we could try making it multiplayer logic and spawn it with a single player. But that's the issue that we had with the other potion, is it didn't work right. Where's Am I missing it? Where's the message broadcaster? Am I going blind? Where is... We're in behaviors. I am going blind. It's right there. It's already there. Hey, Wombat Gamers, rating with a party of 70. Welcome, everybody. Just in time to see me have a little mental breakdown here. I had already clicked the thing and didn't know what I was looking at. How's it going, Wombat? Did you have a good stream? We are just fixing up some issues here with our experience and seeing what we can make better. First time chat from... There's a lot of consonants. Abijak? What am I building? We've got a whole little social hub here. And, oh, I spawned on the roof again. It was doing that the other day, too. We got a little art gallery. So this spawner, it must have spawned me in here, and then I teleported up to the top where I spawned. So we just got to reduce the size of that spawn plate. We got a little gallery. We've got some quests around this garden, and if we do a good job with our quests, we can teleport over to a dance party, and it's just a simple little thing. Alright, so let's fix that spawn plate real fast. I mean, that shouldn't be teleporting me to the top, but I guess maybe I was just spawning right in that little edge there. So we're just going to make it a little bit smaller. Now we should spawn in that space. So we got a little quest to find all these hidden raccoons. And we've got a quest to gather some Smurf berries for Papa Smurf. Make a potion. Right now the potion doesn't work exactly the way I would like it to. So we're going to try to fix that. See, the problem is if I do a health reduction in a range, it's going to do it exactly here. What if I did it through the rules system? I wonder if that would hurt everybody. Yeah, I think we're just gonna leave it, because every way that I'm thinking to update that logic, it just is going to make it more complicated and potentially worse. I would really like the potion to only work if you've completed the quest, but for whatever reason, you can do it. You can't do it that way, so we gotta supplement. All right, how's it going, Lydia? How are you doing on this beautiful day? Doing fine. We're parkouring all around the rooftops. Actually, that could be fun. A thing that I'm not going to add now. It could be fun to have a little rooftop parkour course, a little mirror's edge action going on between all these roofs. Definitely something we could add later. But I think for now, I think we're done with this one. As long as this crowd event works with the change we just made. Oh, I accidentally deleted a bubble blower. Fixed. Alright, so we are going to set our camera position. We gotta frame what we're looking at here. Hit save. And then while that's saving, we're going to bring up the experience page on the sandbox. And we're going to close it and relaunch it. And that will update it to the latest version. Sometimes it takes a second for it to refresh. And we hit launch, multiplayer, confirm, agree to the terms of use. And now it should be up. So we can go to view page. And of course I always have to fix these URLs for Twitch. Alright, if you want to help me test this, you can jump in with me. And let's make sure all those things work. We're going to turn down the music. To enjoy the in-game ambiance. For some reason, this thumbnail image is still squashed. I thought I updated it. All right, our light switch should still work, so we can turn off the lights if we want. Hey, Lieutenant General. Welcome to the gallery. Eventually, we may add some sculptures and stuff. I didn't really have anything that I wanted to put in there. The only thing I thought about putting down there, I actually thought looked better up here, which was this statue by Ghost of Mars. And let's make sure our quests are working. Well, okay, let's test the little teleport first. The hidden teleport that nobody knows is there. Hey. It works. This is Smurfin' awesome. I want to dance forever, but my feet are turning blue. Alright. Enough of that silliness. Let's go do some quests. Wizard Green. Can you help me gather 9 missing raccoons? They must be around here somewhere. We need them all present in order to summon the golden raccoon. Oh, that's what we were going to do. We were going to add a green hat spawner. Wizzy the Green should give us a hat. So, Lieutenant General, you can keep running around if you want, but I am going to add that green hat and then reset the hub. Also, we want to make the bucket drop area a little bit bigger, so that way you don't have to be quite so accurate with it to spawn the Smurf Berry. And Papa Smurf gives us that quest. Makes the potion. We drink it. And then we're back up here. And let's test the crowd event. Boogie down. Cherry Fit is to somewhere. This one. Oh, is it gonna complete? What? It got stuck. I've never seen that happen before. The timer on it is also stuck. Oh, but it did give me the... What? What is this? This is a new bug. For me, at least. Even when we're outside of the crowd event area, the crowd event is still up on screen. That's interesting. Anybody else ever seen that before? That's a new one for me. Hey, Lori G. Get all these little raccoons. Need 2 more. This one's here. Oh wait, this one. Yeah, I didn't just break the game, I broke reality. Garnikin, that's how I roll. Hey, I'm Nagul. How's it going? Alright. So that's all working there. You know what? There was an issue that I was seeing. I was talking to somebody about it today. My boss, technically. And he had the same complaint as me about it, the screen fading to black after you die. But it didn't happen just now. It happened the way I would have expected it to happen. And I'm wondering if it was like a server-side issue that they fixed. But I remember on this experience, it was happening. Fade to black. Okay. So it was here. If you go into here. Ooh. Yeah, it did it there. So I don't know why it does that. What is it about this experience that makes it do that when others don't? Also, I need to update this image because this egg has hatched. It's no longer an egg. It is now a beautiful little flyboy. All right. So let's add that Wizzy the Green Hat. Now, I'm wondering, maybe we should just make it a preset with the raccoon and put it on top of the raccoon's head. What is this actually spawning? Asset to spawn. Okay. So let's add the golden raccoon. And let's put the green hat on his head. Too adorable. I almost hate to take it off his head. It looks so cute. All right. We're going to add that as a child, but this is going to be collectible. Interact, add component, indicator. Collect. All right. Let's see how that interaction looks. You know, I always go around the whole building when it's really faster for me to just go this way. All right. Collect. All right, that seems to work fine. Ta-da. All right. Let's put the name on it, though. Oh, we don't want that vertical offset being that drastic. Visibility, vertical offset. Let's do negative 0.5. Yeah, I think just on 1 would be fine. Made it a full -1. Okay. Well, let's not do that. All right, so let's make this a preset. Delete and change the spawner. Wait, did I move the spawner? Why'd I do that? I don't remember doing that. Use preset, golden raccoon. And now, when I collect all those things, it should spawn with the hat. Let's gather up all these guys. Wasn't there a collision somewhere? I feel like there was a grass collision or something. Or a plant collision. Did I fix them all? I think we were good with all these collisions. That's everybody, right? Raccoons assembled. Alright, it spawns. And we can collect it. And there it is. Alright. So that all seems to be working. We want to change what Wizzy's text is. So he talks and it fires off this series of messages above him. Give you a special prize too. And then thank you for your help, player. Now bask in the glorious glow of your victory. Don't forget to grab my extra green hat. And let's put color equals, let's see, 0, 0. We want it to be dark, but not too dark. Let's try a 0, 0. Slash color. Give you a special prize too. Oop. I fell down the stairs. Help. Okay, that's all of them. So the golden raccoon, behold, over there. Thank you for your help, Kamisazi. Now bask in the glorious glow of your victory. Don't forget to grab my extra green hat. That's the perfect shade of green. And we pick it up. And it is ours. Okay. Is there something else in here that... Oh, I wanted to change the the radius for the bush drop here. So Smurfberry quest. Trigger volume. Make it, oh, not that big. 2. Let's give that a shot. Wait, why am I doing this? I just needed to test the water bucket. I forgot what I was testing. So I put the water bucket here. Yeah, we still grow the Smurf berries. Nice. All right. Now I think we're done. Anything I'm missing? I feel like that was all the stuff. Eventually, we'll add some parkour courses around the outside here. And who knows what else we'll add. This is a space for us to build and grow in. This is what I like about the templates and what I envision using the templates as a seed to grow your own little bonsai experience. You're going to remove some things, you're going to add some things, you're going to trim it and update it, and you can make something cool and uniquely your own. Gardican says you'll never be absolutely done. No game dev ever is. True. Just, you know, use the Skyrim method and just keep on re-releasing it every year. For 10, 15 years. Right. I think I've done enough. There's definitely some things that I could add, some things I could improve. But, you know, we'll leave it for now, and maybe we'll leave it until the next Game Maker version comes out, and we'll see what new features there are and what improvements there are and how we can update this to meet the times. So we're going to move on to the next thing. But first we got to save. Got to position our camera again. So that way we get that nice opening screen. Like so I try to center Wizzy in the middle of the view and then angle it so that way you mostly see city, but Boombot's kind of still in there a little bit, and you get a nice view of everything. We hit save, and while that's saving we can go ahead and close the experience. All right, that's saved. Just make sure all this looks good. Yep. All right, that looks good. Have you noticed when saving the experience, if you do it in a random place, when the game loads, it flashes there first, and then to the spawning area. When the game loads, it flashes there. Well, probably what you're seeing is you're probably seeing this, right? This is intentional. Are you using the orbiting camera? Because that might, if we switch it, gameplay, camera, start screen, camera welcome. It probably pulls up that first and then goes to this. Is that kind of what you're describing? But it saves the information of where your camera is when you save because that's how it makes the screenshot. It's a flash of the last place saved. Well, that's what I mean. So because I saved here intentionally because it sets the camera up for this initial position. So if you move it and hit play, if it did flash to it, it was really fast. Like just a frame. I didn't catch it if it was. Um, but if we set it back to image welcome, it's gonna move to. Well, it didn't do it in this case. Not in the game maker. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm being very intentional with where I'm saving after it's been uploaded and you play the game. I'm using that camera position specifically because I want to say where it is. Are you not using the welcome screen at all? Because if you're using the welcome screen, it's intentional that it pulls up the saved position, which is here for this one. All right. Did we launch? Uh-oh. Map location pending. I may have gone back and forth too quickly. Let's we can move it over here. That's fine. Let's change it again. What was the one that we were supposed to be using? It was oh. Is this one? Negative 45, 41. Hey. Alex pioneering new bugs. That's what I do. Alrighty. So that link in the chat from before should still work. Let's go ahead and jump in here. Make sure that hat spawns correctly and can be equipped. This is what we wanted to see. And let's just double check. We like testing all the things. If we haven't collected them all, we can go try to lie to Wizzy the Green and he gets mad at us. I think I found them all. It is unkind to lie. Alright, we need 2 more. Which one did I miss? That. Oh. Wait. Oh, this one. Sometimes I forget how to play my own game. Hey, Laura G, Ian the IT guy. Welcome. Alright. It's kind of funny to watch the raccoon follow you guys around. Hat has spawned. Looking super adorable. You're going for the most beautiful experience that doesn't have any mechanics. That's a totally valid thing to do. It'll probably run really well too, as long as your graphics are well optimized. You could certainly. So when we first started making the Game Maker, that was there weren't really any mechanics yet, and that was actually what we were kind of building, was what we called dioramas, and that's still a totally valid thing to do, even with all the mechanics now. You can totally make an experience without quests and behaviors, and just make a place to run around. Alright. Papa Smurf. Got your quest. Senior Espinoza. Let's buzz off. It's my siesta time. Fill up the water bucket. You drop the water bucket. You know, I think I tested this before. I just want to make sure. Pick it up. Put it down. Pick it up. Put it down. Pick it up. Put it down. Okay. Good. Harvest a Smurf berry. And... oh. Well. I got here a little bit faster than I meant to. Smurf berry potion is not red there, which is interesting. I'm pretty sure that was set up correctly. Not a huge deal. So the difficulty was that where I placed the Smurf berry, I accidentally interacted with the potion, which is a risk, but one that I don't really see a way to avoid with the current way the potion was handled. Hey, put you down. Ian the AT guy, can you do the cherry fit? I want to see if it works when you do it. Well, how about you don't do it, I'll do it, and we'll see if we both get the trail. Oh, and it got stuck again. How about you, Ian the AT guy? You run around? Interesting, I don't see it for you. Maybe because you didn't participate? I think you have to do the dance. So you gotta do the cherry fit dance, which is on the second page of dances. Scroll here, and it's this one right here. You can also do / cherry fit in the chat. Okay, it's working for Lori G. And transparent voxels. So there is no way in VoxEdit right now to define a voxel as transparent. There are some technical reasons for doing it that way, which can be a little complicated to explain. I know it's been a requested feature for several years, but it's there are different factors that go into it, and a big part of it is because this isn't actually a voxel engine. All the voxels you see in here are meshes that have been converted from voxels. So that impacts the way a voxel would behave compared to something like Magica Voxel when it does a render. So you can do transparent blocks. When you upload a block, you can set it to be transparent, and it will automatically do this little glass reflection. You can also set them to be liquid. They can be opaque liquid or transparent liquid. And if they're liquid, they will get an animation on them with ripples. Now, if you change the different values for the blocks, you can get different results with them. And then I saw somebody do glass panes that were made with a VFX. So there's no collision on this. We'll just double check, make sure that this link still works. If we go back to the Game Maker, you can make a VFX. So we grab a logic, VFX asset, and I'm trying to remember what the settings were. So we got our VFX asset, and I want to say it was the portal. So this is what the portal looks like, and you can already see it's kind of transparent. You can see the other side. So what you do is you take the particles and you make them tiny, make them 0 basically, and then you take the color and you can actually adjust the alpha here. So we can say like 0.5 for the alpha. We can make it more and more transparent like that. And then you can also adjust the color value. So if you make it a gray, it becomes much more clear. See, the darker gray we go, the more it becomes like a transparent piece of glass. Brightness, I don't remember. Oh yeah, brightness. So you can reduce the brightness and you can make it really super clear too. But that's kind of the same thing as dropping this down to black. See, if I make it black and make the brightness 10, you still can't see it. So if you just, you don't really have to worry about the brightness because you can just do it with the color value. Like that. 0.01? Yeah. So, adjusting a combination of your alpha and your brightness here will affect it. And then you can tint the glass. So you'll be like, okay, we're going to make this glass kind of blue. You can make it red glass or pink. You can do any combination of those things. But there's no collision on this. So you would also want to put an invisible asset. I think, did we make the blockers basic? Well, there's this blocker that you can put. There's another blocker that's part of the exclusive that I've requested that we make it um, this one here, the blocker wall. This one's very useful for setting up collision walls if you need an invisible collision. Um, Obviously, you can make that asset yourself. It's very easy to make an asset like this. It's just a flat thing. But because it's already there, it already exists, I have asked that we make this one available to everybody. Glass you can go through, but archways you can't. So archways, oops. You need to set up collision correctly. So, like these archways that I'm using here have no collision because there's nothing in the middle. So this is just from this little planter bed to this little planter bed, and all of this is one asset, and it has proper collision, but that's because it's using a rig with multiple nodes. And we lay this all out in the docs about how to set up collision. If we look at debug collision borders, you can see that the green is collision, and you can see that it follows very closely to these objects, and it's because each one of these angled pieces is its own model. I mean, it's probably the same model duplicated multiple times, but they're each on their own node. And then the plant is another model, and the planter, the bottom part, is another model, and they're all combined together. Same thing goes for this. You can see it's a more chunky collision going on here. And if you go to modeled in animator, not a modeler. Yeah, I mean, you can start in modeler and then move those assets over to the animator if you want, but there needs to be no animation on them. So that's all laid out in FAQ. Yeah. If you go to the docs.sandbox.game and you go to the creator portal and go to VoxEdit, creative guidelines, maybe it's asset guide. Where is it? Explain it. Asset types and collision. Here we go. So I'll link this in the chat for you. It talks about how the colliders work. So colliders take up the whole boundary of an object. Hey, I made that car. The reason this car doesn't have a nice collision around the hood and the trunk is because it's animated. So even though these are on separate nodes, there's a collision right here on the hood because I made an animated asset, so it's the full size of the object. You can tell by the green. And that's because if we click on it, I wish we could change the brightness of the colliders, but if we click on it, we can set it to open, and you see that even the doors swing out wider than the collision. So it's based on just the first, I believe it's the first frame of the default animation. It's either the first frame or the entirety, the totality of the frames of the first animation. So the first animation is idle, or actually I think it's technically turn off is the default. And it's a rectangle that fits all of these nodes inside. And any other animations that we have, like open or move, they don't change the collision. So our collisions are static right now. Everywhere the animation goes, the collide box encompasses. Yeah, but only for the first animation. So the collision doesn't change when we open the doors. It just stays with what the default animation is, and that's all. That's all laid out in the guidelines. Purple Lioness says, "Hey, Alex, had to step out for a minute, so sorry if you answered this already. The invisible blocker, is that what you would use to stop someone jumping off a building, for instance?" I mean, yeah, you could use it for anything. It's so by default, it's not invisible. Like we don't have a way to say an asset is going to be invisible by default. But yeah, you could use it. You could set up walls all around the outside and say, hey, this is, we don't want you to jump off there. I like it when games give me the choice to be safe and not jump off the edge of a building, or to go wild and say, hey, I want to try to jump to the next building over because I'm wild like that. Not in real life. In real life, I'm very safe. But in video games, I can do whatever I want, as long as they let me. I'd love to be able to jump to these buildings. So I don't typically use collision blockers like that, but you can totally use them if you want to, and just make them invisible. All right, this one is done. We're going to go to our main menu. We're not going to save because we did some goofy stuff and we already have a working version uploaded. All right, so what we wanted to fix in this, there was something I wanted to change, and now I don't remember what it was. What was the thing? Oh, the NFT. I need to update this egg because it is now hatched. And there was something else I wanted to fix in here, and I don't remember what that was either. We had the hat quest. Did the door work? The waygate to City Garden? It should work. I know I wanted to test it because we relaunched it. It's taking a long time to load the destination data. Oh, there it goes. Okay, it found it. So that's working. What else needed to get fixed in here? There was something else that I thought of, and I'm not remembering what it was. We can run into here. And it makes us collapse. That's expected. We can't do anything about the fade to black issue. Is there something in here? These are all fine. The games are amazing. Thank you. Well, thank you. I mean, I can't take too much credit. These were templates, so our level designers built the bones of these experiences, and then I'm just adding goofy things to them. Just having fun with it. We're playing around. Gosh, I could have sworn there was another thought that I had for this game, and I'm not remembering what it was. Anybody notice that it's still playing the music? Or is that's the Game Maker making that music? Like, why is it playing that music over and over? Oh, there was an issue with the spawning. That's what it was. The spawn plate was limiting how many people could launch at once. That's what it was. I remember now. It was assigning teams. Okay, it looks like we already fixed that here. So I turned that off. So maybe I already fixed the thing that was an issue. But we do need to update this because this has been burned. So let's go to OpenSea. And hopefully my S key works. There we go. The S key on my keyboard is wearing out, and sometimes when I'm typing it just doesn't. It's just like, nah, I don't feel like it. All right, so we got Sky Rage number 337. Look at this beautiful, beautiful boy here. Look at him, he's glorious. Egg finally hatched. Ta-da! Easy peasy. I still feel like there was something else that I was gonna change in here, and I don't remember what it was now. Oh, were we using default options for the start screen? We weren't even using a start screen. So let's change that. Let's, gosh, I wish I could do it with the VFX. If I do it here, the VFX isn't even going to show. It would also be cool if we could do like a wide angle camera view. Have, you know, Lizzie the Purple framed in here. But I think we'll just do a view from above. There we go. Just like that. And we're going to do gameplay, start screen on, image welcome. And what was the description we used on this? Someone is buying sand? I mean, I think it's a little bit back up now from what it was. Ooh, I got a package. And I know what it is. You want me to open my package on stream? Lizzie the Purple Spider Arc. And hope Lizzie the Purple will deal with an 8-legged problem. And now save. 26 cents. Yeah, so it was around like 30 cents about 2 weeks ago, and then all of like Ethereum and the stock market and everything took a big hit for a little bit there, and it went down to like 20 cents, and now it's back up. Last what I looked before was like 27 cents, so I guess 26 cents now. So people were asking like when $1, and I'm like, I don't have a crystal ball, I don't know, but it's not $1 right now. So if you're looking for it to become $1, you know, now would be the time to do it. But it's not financial advice. Do your own research, make your own decisions. I am not going to tell you what to buy ever. I had somebody messaging me on Instagram, and they said, hey, is sand a good investment? Is it gonna moon again? And like I can't tell you that. Like first, like legally I shouldn't, and morally, ethically, I can't tell you. Like I can tell you that I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen. And they were insistent. They kept on like asking, like, so you think it's gonna like 2x, 3x? Like, what do you think it's gonna do? And I'm like, I don't know. I all I can tell you is that we are trying to build something cool, and we're working hard on it, and we've got a lot of cool creators, and all that we can do to help the price is to make things better and make good things. That's what we are trying to do. But we can't predict the market. We never know what the market's going to do. If anybody knew what the market is going to do, well, they'd be lying to you. So, yeah, it's not a. We don't have a crystal ball. We can't predict it. Is there really only one quest? I thought I made a second one. I guess there's only one. All right, so that works. Let's go ahead and close the experience. Close and relaunch. Oh, I guess I already closed it. So we're gonna hit launch. View page. If you are already hanging out in the other social hub, you can just go to the elevator door and it will take you to this one. Or, oh, I didn't. Wait, don't click that link. It's not. It's broken. It's broken. Gotta make that an underscore. I really should just do something to take out the apostrophes. Make it easier to share those links. All right, here's the working link. Go ahead and hit play. I'm gonna go grab my package from outside the door, and I guess we'll check it out. Oh wait, am I already in here? I was already in here. Let's exit experience. Maybe I can relaunch it, and I don't know if that's gonna put me in the latest version or not. I've never tried this before. We're gonna hit replay and see if it loads. All right, I will be right back. And I'm back. All right. Did this work? Let's check that gallery. Make sure that updated correctly. Oh, okay. It didn't seem to go to the latest version. Let's try going to the garden and then coming back. We'll see what happens. Where's my box cutter? Little box ASMR. That was a good one. Artifact has the coolest boxes. I'm gonna put it down on the floor. Ugh, there's not enough room in front of me on the desk.
What's sad though, I mean, I guess it means my shoes will last a really long time. I always wear slip-on Vans. I hate wearing lace-up shoes because I'm lazy. All right, here. Let's try going back to the other one and see if it's the updated version. All right. I think I'm supposed to. Oh, there's. I thought I was supposed to pull on this one. You have to pull on this one. Okay. Let's see here. Did it update the image now? What? Did I not? I saved, right? Maybe I never actually closed it correctly? It says changes saved. Let's go to the hub. Close experience. And it's doing the map thing again. That's okay. Go here, owner. We'll just select a different one. And we're gonna remove location. And then we're gonna link it back to it was the top one. Should be negative 45, 40. Negative 45, 40. Why am I not seeing it? Negative 45. 40. There it is. Wait. Oh, not negative 44. It says it's occupied. You're in and it's been updated, but I just closed it. I probably should have just left it. All right. Well, okay. We'll try launching it to this other one. That's fine. Choose location. Got it. We're gonna launch. Multiplayer. Confirm. Launch experience. Close experience. Close experience. Manage. Owner. Negative 44. Filter. Wait, what? Was it not negative 44? Oh, wait, the first coordinate. Negative 44. Alright, I guess we just won't worry about it for now. Launch. Confirm. Launch. So this is gonna break my other experience. Well, not break it, but it's gonna make it so you can't teleport from. Wait. I'm looking at the wrong one. No wonder it wasn't working. Good grief. I need those thumbnails to be bigger, I think. Or I just need to read, you know. I wasn't looking at the right experience. All right. This was the Green City Garden, which is supposed to go in the upper left corner. That's negative 45. 41. This one. Choose. Choose location. Got it. Launch experience. So I didn't even close the other one. I think it's because I had multiple tabs open and I grabbed the wrong hub. So let's go back here. It's launched. I didn't even close it. And is it in the right location? My goodness. Hit play. Oh boy. Oh. Ooh, something fell. Stickers. Boy. Artifact always puts a nice envelope of cool stickers when they send you stuff. Nice little branded envelope. Basically everything Artifact has is branded. The tissue paper is branded, the box is branded, the shipping box is branded. We got some cool hollow foil. Oops, you stepped into the future stickers. Dunk files. I think it's, oh, it's like textured. It's got like a rough, like stony texture. I don't know if you can see it, but it feels cool. Are we going to take a Wizzy hat photo? Just asking. I wasn't planning on it, but since you're here, we can. We got the heel. We got a robot sticker. Nice try. Oh, nice, thank you, TY. I don't know why I read that as try. We got all the dunks as like a, it looks almost like the Aperture logo, but a little swirly thing. And, ooh, the clone vials as a sticker. Very cool. I have no idea what I'm going to put these on. They're like such nice stickers. I don't want to put them on anything. And then we've got the ghost dunks. They're super cool. So these, I think these were a limited edition mint. But they come, they're adjustable. They come with things that you can add to them. So, oh, this weird. The laces are like a hollow tube mesh. It's not regular fabric for the laces. That's cool. This bag. Oh, it came with regular laces. Oh, these aren't regular laces either. They're like... Oh, they're rubbery. Weird. They're, they've got like a rubber texture, maybe like screen printed onto it. It feels kind of like screen printing, but it's like really thick and rubbery on these laces. And then there's the clone vials. These ones say ghost on them. I can't really focus, but this is what they look like. They're heavy too. So what you do, oh cool, these can slide off. They're little covers for the laces, so you can change your position for the fit, and then you slide the cover over it so it doesn't look like there's multiple holes. I wonder if the other ones do that. I didn't notice that on those. Except now I can't slide it over the thing. Get back on there. It's a little difficult to get it back on. Okay, so the bottom two holes are just to lock it into place. So you're really only adjusting the left and right. So I don't know that you're actually supposed to slide that off, but you can if you wanted to. So what you do with these is you can take the back heel and you can add them on like that. You don't have to, but if you want to. Basically, these are made to be moddable, so if you have a 3D printer, you can design different pieces that will attach to it. And they did like a whole community contest around that. And then you can take the tongue piece and you can pop the vial into it like that. It says ghost on it. I don't know if you can actually read it. And then this can slide over the tongue of the shoe. If I can get it just right. They're not very flexible right now because they're brand new. There we go. And then you've got the fully kitted out shoe. But then people made other things that can attach to those also. Super cool. A little bit of glue there. And the materials are so neat. Like, everything on this has like a cool texture. So, yay! I think this is my last artifact shoe. I like signed up for so many different things so long ago. And it took a while for everything to ship, but I think it was worth the wait. This stuff is really neat. I just hope these fit well, because, like I said, I don't wear shoes like this very often. And there's no way to try before you buy, so like the size that I get is the size that I get. I hope it fits my foot. One of these days I'll go to an NFT event and I'll wear them. I basically don't ever wear these at home. The vials are just decorative, so the vials don't actually do anything. They are just there for decoration, but there are different ones. I have red ones that just say clone on them, or clone X, or DNA, something like that. Oh, these ones. Here we go. So I've got the red one that came. I think everybody who got the shoes got those, and then or maybe it was Genesis. Oh yeah, Genesis is the gray ones that I have. And then these are the ghost ones, which look similar to the gray ones, but the gray ones look more like a Super Nintendo, like the kind of the gray of like the USA Super Nintendo. So you can swap the different vials around based on just however you want it to look. And then I have ones that say Angel. They have a gold. They're gold with a blue interior that says Angel, because that's the that was what my clone's trait was. So I got the Angel shoes, or the Angel vial to go with the shoes. All right, cool little unboxing. But it's relevant because we were looking at this hub, which has all my Clone X stuff on it. All my artifact stuff. Hey, look at everybody there. Let's go ahead and do the mage raid photo. Which hat am I gonna wear? I mean, I can actually see all of your names like that, so that works. Zoom in a little bit. Good mage rate. Yeah, Lucas. Got my shoes. I have so many shoes that I'm not going to wear very often. Oh, they look very good. They look just like I thought they would look, which is wonderful. But they feel really cool. They've got cool texture to them. Hey, it updated! Yay! So these are the Genesis ones that I was pointing out. So I have these. They're a little more gray in real life, I think, but they still look pretty close to this. That doesn't actually glow, but it does have a cool texture. Hey, Roxy McGill rated with a party 16. Thank you, everybody. So the Nike swoosh there has a cool like blue purple two-tone sheen to it, like pearlescent kind of. And then we've got all these. Those are my robots and Genesis, and then I've got the, what is this called? Stone and Space Matter, and these are the ones that light up on the bottoms, and they connect to an app, and you can change the way they light up and stuff. And then, oh, they also they automatically tighten with this little motor. Here's the angel vial that goes in the shoe that I was talking about. I guess I didn't put a. Did the ghost one give me an NFT? I don't remember if it did or not. I thought it would have. I might need to make room on the wall. You got the angel and the demon. Yeah, those are the angel one. I really wanted those because I got the angel vial, but I don't think I could afford them when they came out. But it's okay. I've got more shoes than I know what to do with at this point. Ghost. So I guess I didn't get an NFT for the ghost shoes. Interesting. Just the OG. Just the OGs. Yeah, so they don't do this in real life. It'd be cool if they did. So that purple texture that it had is kind of similar to what this stripe has, except not that glossy. But a similar kind of blue and purple transition. It'd be cool if it did all of this, but it's all right that it doesn't. I understand. Technology. Some of the shapes changed a little bit, like the way the vial pops in isn't exactly like that, but it's pretty close. Overall, they're super cool. I'm glad I got them, even if they mostly sit on a shelf. All right, so I think it is time for us to work on the next game. What time is it? It's almost 1:30. Lucas, are we doing a group stream with Joe? Did Joe ever reply to the Discord chat with Panda? I know Panda's not available for the group stream. But she has this whole like spin the wheel thing for the Clipper challenge. And I'm not sure if I understand the whole process. How many games do you still want to make before the Builders Challenge ends? Asked Garnikin. We need to make 7 more games. It's not going to happen. Not at this rate. We've already spent more than half the Builders Challenge on 2 games that had already been started working on before the Builders Challenge. So, yeah. Not going to happen. This is going to be an ongoing thing as we do maybe more Builders Challenges. We're going to keep on going. We're just going to keep on making these games. Like you said, the process never really ends. we'll probably get to a point where I'm like, okay, I've got enough going on with this. Want to move on to other things. But yeah, I want to make one of each of these for the 8 main wizards. Wizzy the blue, Wizzy the golden, Wizzy the orange, Wizzy the green, Wizzy the purple, Wizzy the black, Santa Wizzy, and Wizzy de los Muertes. We're gonna make all of those. Wizzy de los Muertes, I mean, we kind of already have one with Belphegor's Ball, but I didn't make that. So there's a lot of stuff going on in the background that might be confusing for me to figure out, and stuff that needs to get updated for 0.10. Obviously, I could message Halfdork, who built that one, to see, what I could change. And it's on a separate account. I would have to move everything over. It's a lot of work. Maybe I'll just transfer the land. I'm not sure. We'll see. All right. There we go. The scroll on my wheel stopped working for a second. Main menu. Let's turn that music back up. Where'd the music go? Not that music. Let's I still have it. GDC retreat. Let's upgrade this one. And who should be on the GDC retreat? I'm thinking maybe Wizzy the Golden. He's just chilling. Roxy Miguel asks about the software and game development category. That is intentional. Because we're trying to reach out to viewers outside of the Sandbox circle, right? We want to grow the viewership and let more people know about the Sandbox. And if they're not already watching the Sandbox, then they're not going to see when we go live. So we're using the development channel to let them know, hey, we're building stuff. And I think we've gotten a few new viewers that way. There's a couple different ideas I've had lately about how we can change things up. We've done things the same way for a really long time in the channel. And we want to make sure that things are fresh and working. All right. Let's remind ourselves what's all going on here. Okay, we got the view. I feel like there was a control to change the warp time. The way the moon works is kind of weird. All right. We should get rid of this ball, because that's, I don't know if that even still works the way that it worked before. We had tried to make it synchronize its position by turning it into a moving platform, I think. Let's see. Where'd it go? There it is. For some reason, it wasn't doing the animation. Oh, we made it pickable. we made it multiplayer pickable, and by making it multiplayer pickable, in theory, it would update its position. But we don't really need it for anything, so we're just going to get rid of it. Easter quest was helping me find my eggs. Gosh, I don't even remember where the eggs are. Easter, it's not even Easter time. Let's see, eggs. Oh, we got a whole bunch of stuff that we can put in a folder. Decorations. Let's add these all to this folder here. Collapse that. Let's see, rocks. Anything with rocks in the name. We're going to add to our folder. Anything with grass in the name, we will add to the folder. Tree, we will add to the folder. And I was going to put the music back on. There we go. Plant. Just making it easier for us to navigate all the assets as we work. Get all those decorative things out of the way. Oh yeah, I forgot that this boat is all made out of. I love this boat. It's totally built out of objects here. Let's see one. We're gonna call it house. Select this region, and we're gonna deselect by holding Control. Nope. Control Alt. Control Shift. Nope. Alt. That doesn't do it. What am I trying to do? That's to add. Is there no way to Control Alt Shift? You can't like deselect. Ape Harbor! Yes! I love Ape Harbor stuff. Very good coworker of mine made their dock assets. I love these things so much. and I love their boats. I don't know who made their boats. Their boats are really good too. I collected all of them. Wait, you made them? I didn't know you made these. Well, thank you. I have all of them. And when I find out there's more of them, I get them right away. Yeah. I don't have them all in this experience. Actually, I haven't added the new ones. I suppose I could do that. I do have the Gen 2. Let's see. So we got these three in there, and then there was this one and this one and this one, and I think I got enough boats. I don't think this experience is big enough for all these boats. So now the question is, how do I expand the posts on these? I need some sort of plank, some sort of support structure. They don't perfectly line up. That's all right. Just do that. Oh, that's different than it used to work. And it only does it in incremental bits. Weird. Oh, there we go. It's Control Alt R to do random. Interesting. So if you're just clicked on those, then it will Control R will rotate them incrementally by whatever your snap value is, which I don't remember it doing before. So it'll, see, it just rotates them all by 15 degrees. But you hold Alt, and then it'll do random. Alrighty. So now we want to connect these things all together. So all of these are going to become children of the pier. And collapse it. And now we can just move the pier around and everything tracks. We're going to use the same stair structure we set up here. And now I can link them all together easily. Hey, Quixie Lol, you missed that whole discussion earlier. I seem to recall a moderator telling you to stop it. That's better. Just a hi. Hello. I don't control sand prices. How much is rotated? 300 degrees. That's the wrong one. There we go. Just make sure it's the same height as this one. Or at least pretty close to it. Something like that. I have fun at the beach, but I couldn't live there forever. I I don't like getting messy. Like, as much as I like sand as a currency, I don't like sand getting all in my stuff. So I would probably never bring a laptop or desktop to the beach. Even for the memes, unless I planned on never using it again. Alright, we're gonna do a little surgery on the water here. Let's use some dirt. That's the wrong one. This one? There we go. It would be so pleasant to have Alt GR work with delete too, or the like reverse fill basically. It would be nice. That's why I try to make filling up water the very last thing I ever do in a game, and it's all done. Put these on the board. some of these I'm gonna duplicate. And actually, I might, yeah, no, I'll duplicate these down. But I'm gonna replace them with a different object. Oop. I like that undo works with the selection. It's annoying when it feels like you waste an undo on it and you don't have enough undos to go back, but it is nice when you accidentally misclick and need to kind of go back. Yeah. Alright, so we're going to duplicate. I'm going to line these up with the old ones. I'm going to bring them down. And we're going to replace... I wasn't sure if replace all would work with that option that I had selected. It does. Right, and then we're going to do our random rotation. And we're going to adjust the height. One more here that needs it. All right, let's take a look around. Let's do a building inspection. Okay, so for the most part, you can get between these. I think in theory, you can kind of get stuck on some of them. But I don't think it's that big of a deal. I might actually raise the dirt up between these. Yeah, let's get rid of that rock in there. We're not going to get rid of it. We're just going to move it out somewhere else. Bam. Yeah. And move this out here. And this one out here. And then we're going to fill in some of these spots. I need to remember to save. Alright, I think that's good. We can probably hide something down here. A little Easter egg. Put like a little skeleton down here. But first we save. Very important to save. Put a lot of good work into that bit. Make it a Christmas egg as opposed to an Easter egg. I don't know about that. I'm not planning on making any new assets for most of these. We've made a couple new assets for the previous experiences, but not a lot. I don't think I have any Christmas eggs. What I've got for eggs? Egg. I've got eggplant. I got Easter egg shrooms. Oh, that's what we were supposed to find for the bunny. Oh, my mic's doing that buzzing thing again. I hate it when it does that. Spider eggs. But no, I'm thinking it's underneath a pirate thing. So let's go back. Skeleton. Let's do a little bit of Bethesda environmental storytelling. Yeah, I think it's too hard to see that it's a shovel that way, so let's do it. It's fine. We know it's his. And this is a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. But I guess it's okay. Poor sad little ghosty. Catalyst drop for builders. Challenge 2 in claims now. Ooh. What does that mean? Did we get something? What do we got going on? What do we got? What do we get? What do we get? You mean Builders Challenge 1? Did you mean to say BC2? Or did you mean BC1? Because I know there's some talk about BC1 Catalyst drop earlier in the chat, and I didn't. Somebody asked if I had seen the news, and I had not. I don't have any Catalysts to claim. But I didn't participate in Builders Challenge 1. I don't know. It might still be deploying for everybody, so it might just not be available yet. There's more fish available than I remember there being. That's cool. Hope to remember that. Dystopian Claims is there. So many fun scenarios to make with those goggles. I don't think I was in that event, but I like goggles. Give it a little bit of a ghostly glow. It's a charming set. So the ghosts, I think, come from Ragnarok online. What are they called? Ghost Rig? This is from Sandbox Korea, so I'm pretty sure they're part of the Ragnarok online set. Along with that, there's a few other assets in here, I think, that I have from them. Oh, I can put a mermaid in here. You know, I didn't realize that there was a single-player bird still, which is good to know. So it's just not synchronized, which is fine. But no collisions on it. Been a while since we saved. How you doing, chat? How you hanging in there? Should probably do the news of the week soon. Maybe make the fish go a little bit slower. Yeah, I remember Dear Esther. You could definitely... The Sandbox would be a perfect place to make a walking sim type game. You could have it in first person or third person. You set up the environment however you want. Somebody was talking about making a game with no mechanics earlier. Was that Chingaverse? Was that you? I don't remember. So you could totally make a space that's just a walkable space. You could make it pretty linear, you know, have it on rails basically, where you only allow the player to walk through certain areas. I would maybe use a custom character so you could control the walk speed and reduce how fast they can go through. And then you would use just very limited things like speakers and askers to communicate a story. You could use the rule system to make bigger chunks of text that you wanted to tell. You could use the animated decoration behavior to activate certain events, and just make a story. Use it to tell a tale. I mean, there was a game kind of like that. Maybe Panda's most favorite game ever was Missing Parts. Missing Parts was basically a visual novel that was built in here. So you walked around to different places, and there was some storytelling. I would maybe space it out more, because there was a lot of dialogue in Missing Parts. So it was just a lot of going through the askers, and if you're really invested in the story, then you'll want to read all of that. If you're not as interested in the story, then maybe you won't care as much. I shall not say that name. It was so much. Yeah. it was I think Missing Parts was a decent idea. I think the writing probably could have been edited a lot to kind of make the text more engaging and a little bit quicker to get through, because it was a lot. And I saw what they were trying to do with it being a visual novel. It's not my kind of game. There are people who play visual novels where there's no walking around at all, and they enjoy those sorts of games. Press E simulator. I mean, that's the thing though, right? It wasn't made to be an action game. And I think a lot of people who watch this stream, and a lot of people play the Sandbox, and a lot of people who I communicate with, we like action-y games. I've never played a visual novel. It's just not my thing. But I have friends who do play visual novels, and it is their thing. So you want to make sure that your story is engaging enough, and that you get the right audience, and it's clear to your audience what you're going after. I think maybe part of the difficulty with Missing Parts is that it was part of season events, where all the other games were action, running around, social hubs, hopping up and down, collecting things, and Missing Parts kind of stood out as very different. Maybe if Sandbox had a save feature, absolutely. that would definitely make a big difference, because Missing Parts, I think, was over an hour long to read through all the text. And while some people might fly through that just fine, other people will get bored and want to move on to something else. So if you're going to require it in order to pass certain events for a season to get all the points that you need, it needs to have some sort of save, and you want to make sure that the text is compelling enough to keep people engaged. I would recommend having it just be its own genre, be its own thing off to the side. There is definitely an audience for stuff like that. There are people who read books still. Woo. It was also during a speedrun. That was another issue, right? So not only was it part of a season event where people kind of had to play it if they wanted to gain all their rewards, it was also in a season that focused on leaderboard and times. And it was a kind of a slog to get through and trying to get the fastest time on it. So, being on that speed run, you don't have time to read through all the text. You're just spamming E, going through as fast as possible. So I think there were a lot of reasons why Missing Parts was not the best in the situation that it was in, but I don't think it's because it didn't deserve to exist as a game, right? I think there's a place for that kind of game, and it was not in the right place. So yeah, if you are a writer and a storyteller, you can totally make a story using just basic assets and just set up a space and have your whole thing. Something that would make a thing like Missing Parts easier is that we now have the rules pop-up system, right? We can now go to gameplay, rules, game screen, pop-up window. You could put a title, a description, and you can put a lot of text in here. You can make a whole big block. So if you have a lot of dialogue to get through, you don't have to go ask her. You can have it read as a page of a book. All right. That fish looks like it's getting smothered. We need to reduce its speed a little bit. Increase the move. Meant to ask if we can save players' progress when they log out. No, there's no save feature yet. It is something that is being worked on. Hopefully we will see it very soon in a future version of the Game Maker. That's been one of the biggest requests for a long time, and it's not a simple solution because people can build all sorts of different types of games, and saving your progress on a game can involve a lot of different procedures. So depending on the kind of game you are making, you may want to have saves be an instant snapshot of exactly the game state as it is, which is, a save state, or quick save, as it's called in some games. This is kind of like what Bethesda does with its RPGs, where when you load the game, everything should be exactly the way it was. And that includes the position of objects, what's stored inside chests, what's in your inventory, all of your stats. It's when you resume, it's exactly as if you never left. That can be a lot of data to save depending on the game. And there's a lot of games where that doesn't work as well. There are games with time-limited things going on and little updates that are happening to objects, and more arcadey style gameplay where when you want to resume at a checkpoint with certain information remembered and certain information forgotten. So like in Super Mario games, you save at the overworld, which levels you've completed, but you're not saving your position inside a level. I mean, some of the more recent games do it like that, but even those, they save at a checkpoint. And when you reload, all the enemies are respawned. So I think even when you load at a checkpoint in Mario games, it doesn't remember how many coins you had collected in that game. So basically, the level resets back to the original position, but you're at whatever checkpoint you were at. So those kind of nuances that takes a lot of setup. So we have to make a system that is flexible, works well, and hopefully not too confusing to set up, because the whole point of the Sandbox Game Maker is to make building really easy for people. So there's a lot of factors that go into that and making that system effective. But I know that is one of our top priorities for making the Sandbox a viable building environment for game devs in general. You know, we want people to be able to build any kind of game that they want, and saves is a very important part of that, especially as you want to build longer and bigger games. By the next Builders Challenge, I'm not sure. I don't have an ETA on the save. I don't have an ETA on Builders Challenge 3, so we will see. I know there's been people waiting years for the save, and I know that it is on its way, but I can't give any specifics. Remember hex codes. So people have done that actually in the Sandbox. Touche Studios did that with the Florez cake. You could input numbers and it would load it would auto progress which levels you had beaten. So they had multiple, I think over a dozen pre-programmed levels, as well as a random mode. And they made it so that way when you input certain numbers into a computer, it would bring up where you were at with those levels, so that way you could resume your progress. Which is pretty cool. They also had Easter eggs hidden in there. You know, they said that there was an Easter egg in is it Bug Out? Is that what the game is called? Fungi Bug Out. And I still haven't found the Easter egg, so I'm gonna have to go look for that again. All right, I wanted to see if this fish was looking like it was moving better. That's better. Put some bubbles around it. Gifting players items that auto allow progress. So yeah, you can do that. There's a game which I love, which we played on stream, and I like it a lot, called is it the Bank Job, I think. I'm bad with names, so even though I love something, I will forget what it's called. The Bank Job. So the Bank Job is an arcade game where you only have a couple minutes to try to rob a bank and get as much stuff out of the bank as you can, and you can play as a couple different. You can play as the hacker and the sneak, and the demo. You have to either get a score over 500,000, or if you buy one of their NFTs, it will let you unlock the demo early. So that's not really progression necessarily, but it does let you kind of skip ahead. You don't have to play a bunch of rounds to try to get over that score, and then be able to play as the demo. You can just skip right ahead to playing as the demo if you own this stuff. It is an excellent game. Check it out if you get a chance. Heck, I'll even let's. There you go. Check that out. Up to 7 minutes per attempt. It feels like so much less than 7 minutes. I mean, I guess there's time boosts in there. If you pick up all the time boosts, it probably expands that. So yeah, something like that you can do. The difficulty though is, minting can be expensive. So if you need to mint an item to unlock that progress for people, then that could be cost prohibitive. I mean, you can buy, I think, was it 1 sand or 2 sand for the what is it, marketplace for a common catalyst. Oh, excuse me. Oh. I think a common catalyst is 1 sand, which is 26 cents. So, for $1, you can get not quite 4 common catalysts. So if you wanted to get like 100 items, you'd be looking at $26 to get that all set up, not including gas fee, which the gas would be really low. So you could do it. The nice thing though, and what makes the NFT sensor different from the token gate, is the NFT sensor, you can set up multiple objects as the thing that will allow that progression. So you can mint, say, 100 of these, and if they sell out, or if you're giving them out to people who make it past a certain point, you give those items out. Now you can go and mint another object, and you can mint 100 more, and you can just add that on to the objects. And I don't think there's actually a limit. I mean, there might be a time when the menu runs out of spaces, but I think we put in like 10 or 20, and you can just keep on minting different objects and adding them to the NFT sensor. So any one of those objects will let you do that progression. That's actually the way the bank job works, though. All these different items will let you access the demo, the demolition character. So yeah, I think that's a good thing, that you can kind of keep on adding on to that. So you're not stuck, oh, you mint 25 and now you can't mint another object that looks exactly the same. Well, you could just make it slightly different and call it second edition or something like that. All right. Inject bubbles. Play. We're gonna slow them down a little bit. I think that was distance max. think we can fill this water back in. Let's add some more plants though. Wait, is there no? Oh, there we go. Category. Do you think in future, like 100 years, people could use Game Maker to make games outside the sandbox? Well, honestly, in 100 years, I don't know that we'll still be using anything remotely like these tools. I mean, just thinking back to what video games were like 100 years ago, they didn't exist. I mean, I don't even... When was the first pinball machine made? Pinball was first made... before World War II. So, there's a historian who asserts that the origin lies with patents for a spring plunger and playfield bells in 1871. There were also table versions of garden bowling in the 1500s. So, pinball's pretty old. But, obviously, it was not electronic and it didn't work the way it works now. But we're coming up on, you know, the 50s and the 60s are when games first started becoming computer games. Sort of at, like, what, about 75 years of gaming now? Depending on where you start the count of, like, what the first video game is. That's the entirety of history. So 100 years from now is more than the entire history of video games. I imagine we're going to be on totally different kinds of processors. Computers are going to look very different from what we have now. I think, you know, computers are like the genie that you can't put back in the bottle, right? Like, they're here. So as long as we don't blow up the whole planet, computers and video games are probably still going to be here. But, you know, there's already the trend moving more to tablets. Nintendo's doing handheld gaming as the whole console, and at PlayStation as its handheld like streaming versions for the console. So mobile handheld gaming is like increasing in users. Um, so we're kind of slowly drifting away from the TV as like the main console. I don't think we're there yet. There's still definitely a lot going on for TV and desktop gaming. Just think it could be more tasty for game devs outside the sandbox. So you have to remember that the sandbox is like it's like a wrapper for Unity. Like the game engine is Unity. It's the Unity engine, and the sandbox engine operates inside of Unity. So what we could be looking at for a future with the sandbox, past what you might call like sunsetting. The sandbox DAO is running, sand is still circulating, people are still making NFTs, people are still making content on the platform, but the sandbox as a company has kind of run its course and is maybe all the staff is ready to move on to something else. They feel like they've done what they need to do with the product, and maybe a lot of things have been handed off to the DAO as far as keeping things going. I know a long time ago, Seb talked a little bit about the possibility of open sourcing things, and because it's all on Unity, that's a feasible thing. So could we open it up to development in Unity being published on land and using the features of the land NFTs with Unity? I think that's a possibility. I think that in order to make that useful, like in order to there would be a lot of development that would need to happen to make that work, and in order for that development to be worthwhile, you would need there to be mass adoption of NFTs in the space. So Ethereum, or at least Polygon, is still going to need to be running in some form. There's going to need to be a future where people are seeing NFTs in gaming and in game development as being something that they want to keep seeing. And there's been a lot of resistance to that in gaming. In general, there's been a lot of resistance to that. And I think the more we can make good products on the Web3 side of things, the more people go, oh yeah, no, I can see why that works, or this is functioning well. So it's up to what we do now to make things as good as they can be, so that way people who are unsure, they're either on the fence or maybe they even don't like NFTs and crypto and all that stuff, make it a hospitable environment to them, to where they go, hey, this looks cool. And then you can start talking about, okay, we've got all these developers and they're coming from different backgrounds. Can we make it so that way a Unity game could be published in this space? Is the price of land and the resale price of land, is that making enough sand to pay for the server costs for multiplayer? Because that's something that I pointed out a long time ago, is the reason why multiplayer and these features are for landowners and not just for everybody is because your price of entry, you buying the land, is what funds the sandbox to run those servers. And you need a strong sand economy to make that cost still get paid, right? Because if there's no sand circulating, there's no money going into the sandbox to pay for the servers. Something has to pay for the servers, right? They're not just going to be free. Yeah, crypto thing is the biggest thing holding Sandbox back. That is a fair assessment. I think it's the ability for creators to buy these assets and have it be like a license for them, and then also for them to be able to use them as players. So in the case of like equipment, you can put it in your game to develop with, or you can play with the equipment. having ownership like that, I think, is an attractive thing. That's why I'm interested in the sandbox, why I've been interested in the sandbox. And so we need to make sure that the reason for doing that makes sense to people who might otherwise not be interested in that. So there's still a lot of work to be done and a lot to like see how the future goes. You know, could we publish from Unity to land, or from Unreal to land, or from Godot or any other platform to land? That those are certainly possible things. The neat thing, and this, the neat thing is you don't even need the sandbox to do any of that, right? You own your land. You can do whatever you want to with your land. So while the sandbox is providing a platform to utilize land, there's nothing stopping other projects from utilizing land. Just like in the sandbox, you can play as an avatar because you own a Bored Ape or a Clone X or any of those other profile picture projects. Anybody can make a website that connects to your wallet and says, you have land, here are the features you can do with your land. That's, to me, that is one of the most compelling parts of NFT ownership and gaming NFTs, is that the fact that I own those things, and it's undeniable that I own those things because I've got the wallet, services can be provided for that if it makes sense for the person who's trying to develop that service and for their customers or the people who own those NFTs. So if you own a sword in the sandbox, Blizzard could say, we like that sword. Everybody who owns that sword and wants to connect their wallet to World of Warcraft now has that sword. Obviously, World of Warcraft's a very old example, but I saw that the movie was on Netflix, so it was on the top of my mind. The sandbox doesn't need to approve that, and I think the sandbox would love for more people to integrate the things, right? That's mass adoption of the sandbox. That boosts visibility of the sandbox and improves the situation for the sandbox. So when other projects go, that's cool, I want to integrate what you have, they can do that just by the nature of the things being on chain. They don't have to make a deal with the sandbox to say, hey, we're going to connect to your API to do these things. It's on-chain data. Anybody can use that on-chain data. It's public. So if the sandbox as a company, let's say worst case scenario, the thing that we don't want, that none of us want to have happen, the sandbox as a company goes under because there's a massive sinkhole in Paris and Argentina and our studios with all of our bosses and our devs, and they fall into a sinkhole and disappear forever. It's so dark. And so the sandbox as a company is gone, but there were enough permissions granted with the DAO and stuff. I mean, you could even just rebuild the DAO. You don't even have to have the original things there. You just need to have the landowners. You own the land. Is there a whole bunch of land that becomes inaccessible because the company's gone and it wasn't sold yet, and the sandbox was holding on to its stuff? Sure, but the landowners could band together and go, hey, we have all this stuff, we want to still use this, we just need token ownership, and let's make our own sandbox version 2 that's using the old land. And that could potentially make the old land very valuable. You know, they have certain perks for owning the old land, and they, you know, reassign it to a new map or whatever. But that's all stuff that can happen. So that's the neat thing of it being on chain and owning it, is that it's just there. and that's what digital ownership is about. With most other companies, when they go under, whether they get bought out, they go bankrupt, they shutter their services, they just go radio silent, disappear, whatever happens, their products and what they made are just gone. They just evaporate, and maybe it's gone forever. Alex Florez predicts that the Sandbox offices, along with the Boston staff, will be consumed by giant sinkholes. I mean, yeah, I'm Nostradamus over here. Also predicting sand is going to go to $1. No, I don't know that. I don't know what's going to happen with sand prices. I don't know what's going to happen with sinkholes. I'm just saying, worst case scenario, all that stuff disappears. You still own your land. You can still buy and sell and trade it on OpenSea. You can still make a website with its own contracts and its own wallet integrations that sees that you own it and can provide services to landowners, because that's a thing that you want to see happen. You have played that game. Which game? Sinkholes? Yeah. So that's a really like weird direction that the conversation went in. But yeah, looking at the future, when the Sandbox as a company, inevitably, like most companies close. There's very few companies that have been around for more than 100 years. Even fewer that have been around for more than 200 years. I mean, I think there's like a restaurant that's been in continuous operation in Italy for like a couple hundred years. The oldest still operating company. As of 2021, this is Google's AI, which everybody knows is garbage, but as of 2021, the oldest company still operating in the world is Kongo Gumi, a Japanese construction company founded in 578 AD. The company has been in operation for around 1,443 years and is more than 200 years older than the second oldest company. Holy crap. They specialize in the construction of temples and shrines. Well, that makes sense. I mean, the Catholic Church is not a company technically, but they have coffers and they have a budget, and religion lasts typically a lot longer than companies do. It's interesting to read up about the research that they did for how do we make signs to warn people in the future about nuclear waste. Because what if aliens come to our planet after humanity is extinct? What if aliens come to our planet and they don't know? If aliens get to our planet, they know what radiation is because they would have had to fly through a ton of radiation to get here. But let's say there's some sort of apocalyptic event and there's very small pockets of humanity left, and 1,000 years from now, all the languages are different. The things that they would look at signs and try to like understand what they mean, they wouldn't recognize certain things. They even were like, okay, skull and crossbones like does not necessarily mean this is dangerous, keep out. They might go, oh, fun, pirates, like there must be treasure. So there was a lot of research that went into the biohazard and nuclear warning signs, as these are things that look scary for various reasons. And the one theory was that if you wanted to make sure that people stayed away from nuclear waste, the best thing to do is to make a religion that hands down an oral tradition to make the nuclear waste like this scary thing that they have to avoid. And so you create a priesthood of that. And I'm just thinking like Children of Adam from Fallout, like worshiping nuclear bombs and stuff. But it's a real concern, like what happens to this stuff in the future after English is dead and gone, and you never know They're trying to future-proof for the unknown. But in the case of the sandbox, the chain will still be there, even if Ethereum goes down. Like there's no validators left, the data will still exist somewhere on some hard drive. Somebody could still pull it up, but we're probably talking way in the future. As long as people are still interested in doing this, there's going to be hobbyists who keep it up and going. And yeah, I think what's really compelling about all this to me is the fact that it's basically permissionless. You can go and build a project, and you can launch it on land. It's not on the Sandbox website, but it's on your mirror site, your mirror world of the Sandbox, using the official NFTs. And I think that's super awesome. In theory, you could even get all the assets, all the 3D models are GLTF files on IPFS. So you could build a whole new game maker, publish land using the Sandbox land, and use your Sandbox assets, but have it be a totally different engine, totally different system, and independent of the Sandbox. You could do that. You could do that right now. I mean, you could go and make your side world to the Sandbox, and I think that would just make the Sandbox more compelling as a place to visit, and it would increase the utility and use of those things. So yeah, that's fun. That was a fun thought experiment there. And I want to kind of change the height of some of these too. Just select a couple. Hey, not Jackie Chan. Where have you been this whole time? I've been talking to this Yumali Talks guy. Getting really annoying in the chat. Wait. I mixed up the names. You're not Jackie Chan on YouTube and Yumali Talks on Twitch. Never mind. I messed up the joke. Ignore me. I might spread these out a little bit. Do not listen to that not Jackie Chan guy. Okay. Oh, there's a block in there. It's a whole section. I tried. What time is it? It's 3. This is when I'm supposed to end the stream anyway. So let's fill in those water blocks. I think we made some good progress here today. Did some world building. We're going to make this ghost find his friend. That's what we're gonna do. That's gonna be a quest in here. Is that the... Oops. Wrong alt. The other ghost... So there's 2 skeletons, and the other skeleton's ghost is going to be over by the secret treasure cave entrance, which is over here. Very hard to see. That's the whole point, right? It's supposed to be hard to find this thing. So there's the treasure room, and the ghost will have found it from the outside. And so it'll be a little quest. And we'll reunite the ghost friends, and they will pass on peacefully and happily And maybe I wish I could make them smile, but maybe they'll go and they'll appear in here, or maybe they'll just disappear. I haven't really decided yet. Oh, am I going to be able to publish this with those golden Celix raccoon there? No, I don't think that'll pass asset check. Let's go ahead and save. I'm curious. I think I only have one. And is there anybody to raid? I never heard back for doing the group stream today. Oh, Joe said yes, we're in. All right, Joe, Lucas, and I are going to be streaming in about an hour, I want to say. So I got to get off of here real fast. Tell you Millie talks he still owes not Jackie Chan $12. All right. I think you can just kind of reach in your wallet and take it. I don't think he'll mind. All right. Anybody streaming the Sandbox? I see Pet's Kitchen is streaming right now. Hey, Wicked YouTube. That's right. Alright, I'm gonna go send you all to raid Pet's Kitchen. And I need, like, breakfast. I mean, I had a peanut butter sandwich. I guess I had breakfast. I need lunch. It's halfway to dinner time. Alright, we're gonna raid at Pet's Kitchen. Invalid username. Hey, there we go. I just did it wrong. All right, go have fun with Pet's Kitchen. I will see you all in about an hour. About an hour. Check Twitter. See when the Sandbox goes live. We're going to be playing games with y'all. Go have fun. We'll be back.